Good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings to you. My name is Reverend Leah Alvarado. I'm with New Thought Northern Colorado Center for Spiritual Living. Welcome to the season for nonviolence. Each day we come together for a total of 64 days to practice a new principle of peace and nonviolence based on the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. So glad that you're here today. Today is day 50, and our topic is the friend inside of us. Gandhi said, "Don't listen to friends when the friend inside of you says, 'Do this.'" Those closest to us always have the most influence over us, don't they? Our parents, our spouses, our partners, our friends, our children, they all influence us. For most of us, that influence limits us. Well-meaning people often counsel us to take safety and easy paths. Caring about us, they fear we might fail if we take the path less traveled. All too often, we take their counsel as our own because we fear their criticism and their judgment. When we do, we're permitting violence to be done to us. There is a voice within us urging us to take our own path. That Gandhi says is the true friend, the still small voice within us that will always lead us to the thing that we were born to do. What we are called to do may not be grand and earth-shaking, but it is ours. No one else is called to do what we are called to do, not in the same way. The work we are called to do begins with one small step on our path. Each step we take leads us closer to our calling and further from the limits our friends and family place upon us. There is no need for us to respond with violence to the restraints on us. Instead, we release them with love, and we take the next step, the next, and then the one after that. The voice of the friend within us is our trusted partner, always guiding us to the right path, never demanding anything or judging us, but instead loving us and supporting us every step of the way. So our first question for today. Hi, BJ. Hi, Dennis. Nice to have you here. Our first question is, how do you listen for the voice of the friend within you? I'm curious what your process is for tuning in and listening to that friend, that still small voice. Anything you want to put in the chat, feel free to do that. Because it is a process. Some, I suppose, hear words and messages as they're going through their day, but most of us, it requires us to get silent and quiet and then listen and then tune in to hear that friend talk to us. And the next question is, how does this friend support you in your life? What messages have you received? What directions have you taken in your life? What paths have you gone down because you were able to tune into that friend? You were able to follow the guidance of that friend, of that trusted partner. How did it serve you in your life? What beauty showed up in your life as a result of that? And so, thank you, Dennis. Yeah, creating space. Yeah, creating space. So, we get these messages and sometimes they're not always clear. Sometimes, okay, let me reflect on that some more. Let me tune into myself and see what that message means to me. And sometimes it's crystal clear. You need to create space. Yeah. And it's always going to be for our highest and best good. If we ever receive a message that tells us to do something that's harmful, whether it's to ourselves or another person, that is not our friend. That is definitely not our friend. Yeah, it's always going to be for our highest and best good. It's always going to be something that's going to be supportive to our life and our life's path. Let's say our affirmative statement together. Hi, Annette. I will meditate on how I have let others limit me. It's the human people in our lives that limit us, that we allow to limit us, don't we? It's certainly not the friend inside of us, but it's the human beings, well-intentioned. They mean well, but sometimes they do say things and we take it in and we let it limit us. And so meditating on that and reflecting on how we've let that happen. And then declaring for ourselves, today, I will release their expectations and opinions with love. There are some people in our life that have so much influence on us. We don't want to let them down. We don't want to disappoint them. We're afraid to speak up and say, this is what I want to do, and this is what I believe I'm capable of doing. So if we can release the expectations and opinions that they have and do it with love. Today, I will listen for the voice of the friend within me and begin to take action on the path it sets before me. This is the path of nonviolence. So let's just take a deep breath and just take a moment to move into our heart, to drop into our heart. And just feeling the vibration of these words, this idea of this friend that is within us, this friend that we can always call on for guidance, for support, for love. It's often those outside of us that are making demands of us, that say things that we take personally, and we think that we have to follow someone else's guidance, but truly the only guidance that is valid is the guidance that comes from within us, that comes from that friend that is within us. Because it is that friend that knows us best, that knows what is in our heart, that knows what will support us in this life and on our spiritual journey. And so let's just take a few moments in silence as we contemplate this and feel into this. And so gently coming back, taking another deep breath, feeling the energy in your heart. I love what BJ said. Listen with open arms. And Annette said, our divine intelligence within knows to show pure love in all situations. Yes. The wonderful one inside. Thank you, Dennis. And Janet, God, yes. Yes, all of that beauty is within us. And if we just stop and listen and get quiet, we will know what to do next. It is always there for us. Thank you for being with me today. It's such a pleasure to have you join me on this journey of peace and nonviolence. Let peace begin with you. Tomorrow is day 51, and we'll be talking about forgiving ourselves. Such an important topic for all of us. I look forward to being with you then. Have a blessed night. Namaste.